Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about classic time walking in patch 11.05, and in this video we're going to go through everything you need to know, the dungeons, the dates, the rewards, all of that good stuff. But before we get into it, guys, I do want to shout out the sponsor of this video, and that is boot.dev. This video is sponsored by boot.dev. Boot.dev is the best way to learn back-end web development from start to finish in Python and Go programming languages. They know that the smartest way to learn code is to make sure you're never bored, and boot.dev is online, self-paced, and even feels like a captivating RPG game. This platform is designed to get you writing a ton of code, because they know that getting your hands on the keyboard and shipping projects is the only way to learn. As I mentioned, it's like an RPG game. You can earn XP, levels, achievements, and even complete quests to get on a top spot of a global leaderboard. And one of the best parts is they never want you to feel like you're spending money on something that isn't helping. So they offer a 30-day, no questions asked refund policy and a free demo of every course and its interactable features. So click the link in the description box and use my code MrGM to get 25% off your first month or your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. And thanks again to boot.dev for sponsoring this video. Right, so yes, a new time walking event is coming in 11.05, and that is classic time walking. Vanilla time walking or original WoW time walking, they're bringing back some old favorites for this event. Now, this is directly related to the 20th anniversary event, which is happening during 11.05. The current rumored release date is October 22nd, so a month from this video. Nothing's officially been announced, but this looks like it is going to be the date. Classic time walking specifically will be running during that event as well, but after the event it will join the other time walkings during the rotation, so this is not going anywhere. This is not a one-time thing. This will be coming back after the event, which is exciting. One big change coming in 11.05 for all time walkings is that they can be done from level 10, so all of the time walkings will be done from level 10 to 80, and they're actually making it scale up to you instead of you scaling to it. So all of those time walking sets you've got unfortunately won't be relevant as of 11.05 with all versions of time walking. As you could expect as well, during this event, you will get a classic reputation buff. This increases gains from combat and quests by 50% on all classic reputations, which is fantastic if you do want to finish off some of those. There's also going to be another way to get reputation, which we'll talk about when we get to the rewards section. So let's talk about the dungeons. Which dungeons will be featured in this time walking rotation? So as of right now, it is original Dead Mines. This will actually be the original version of Dead Mines, obviously with the updated graphics, but this will feature Mr. Smite, Cookie, Van Cleef, and others. All will be featured in this original version of Dead Mines, which will only be accessible during time walking. You also have the scaled up Cataclysm versions of Zul'Farrak, Diamal East, Diamal West, Strathholm Living, and Strathholm Undead. Yeah, so I do say the Cataclysm versions, it's a little bit disappointing. I kind of wanted to face Baron in Strathholm Undead, but yeah, it looks like it is going to be the Cataclysm bosses and the Cataclysm loot, unfortunately. Original Dead Mines is coming back, which is very exciting. You get to fight Mr. Smite again, which is always fun. Speaking of loot, let's talk about loot. Obviously, this is relevant as of 11.05, but of course, when it comes back in different rotations, the loot will differ. But generally speaking, the bosses in these dungeons will drop Explorer loot. As of right now, this is item level 567, which can be upgraded to 580. So not really relevant for a lot of characters. However, there is Transmog, of course, all of the Cataclysm loot that you could obviously go get right now, as well as the Dead Mines loot from Vanilla, as well as some new items which are there to fill the gaps of like itemization and things like that. Doesn't appear like there's any particular new appearances, just a lot of vanilla-esque appearances, which are nice. Of course, you'll also get time walking badges from bosses, and the last boss will drop some crests. Of course, as well, like any other time walking week, there will be a weekly quest which will reward loot from the latest raid. As of the anniversary event, this will actually be the Blackrock Depths raid, which doesn't appear to be directly linked to classic time walking. It seems to be its own separate entity, so I don't think the raid is going to come back when classic time walking comes back, but you never know. It doesn't seem like that way anyway, but yeah, basically the quest will reward whatever the latest raid is. Of course, to complete that, you just need to complete 5 time walking dungeons. So let's talk about the vendor. Of course, there's a classic time walking vendor, which has some amazing items in it. So it does actually have a brand new mount. This is the Reigns of the Frey Feather Hippogriff. This is a low-res blue hippogriff mount, which is of course a skywriting mount. This will be available during the entire 20th anniversary event, and of course available afterwards when classic time walking comes back in rotation. That goes for all of the these items on this vendor, we assume. There's also going to be 2 new pets with Kraggles and Misty, a new toy called the Practice Ravenger, Deviant Fish, Savory Deviant Delight, and Noggin Fogger you can buy for Timewalking badges, and the return of Mohawk grenades. So if you remember that, that's also going to be available on the classic Timewalking vendor. So also you're going to get new versions of rare vanilla WoW items. So these are not the same ID, however they are the same appearance. So if you are just looking for appearances, this is going to be a massive help to your transmog collection. Some of these are super duper rare, like world drops from vanilla WoW and things like that, which is just fantastic. Some of them are even removed items, like the Lightforge blade and Lefty's brass knuckles have made an appearance on this vendor. There's also some brand new low-res appearances like this amazing Spyro the Dragon looking shield, among other items. This vendor is absolutely stacked with incredible transmog. Of course, just vanilla WoW-esque transmog, but if you're looking for that kind of stuff, this is going to be a huge help for you. And also as well, the absolute best part for me personally is this vendor does sell reputation tokens for vanilla WoW reps, and these tokens will give you 500 reputation for the price of 50 Timewalking badges, which really isn't a lot. So the reputations featured here are the Zandalar tribe, which is of course a removed reputation, so you can now get exalted with them, the Ravasor trainers, Argent Dawn, the Defilers, Silverwing Sentinels, the Warson Outriders, League of Arathor, Stormpike Guard, Frostwolf Clan, the Brood of Nosdormu, the Winter Saber trainers, the Hydraxan Waterlords, the Thorium Brotherhood, and the Timber Moor Hold. Yeah, there's some serious reputation grinds in that list, so you can immediately get exalted with a ton of reputations. The PvP reps is absolutely huge to get exalted with. Of course, Zandalar Tribe is one that you just can't do anymore, so you're going to be able to do that when that comes in. And of course, the Winter Saber trainers and the Ravasor trainers, you're going to get a mount from that as well. So definitely some incredible reputation gains, which are going to save you a ton of time, or make people very angry who did farm these out the proper way. So yeah, sound it off in the comments. But yeah, that's it. That is basically everything coming with Classic Timewalking. As said, this is coming on October 22nd, potentially until January 7th, apparently. So yeah, it's going to be around for a while. And as mentioned, they're not going to go away forever. They will be back on the rotation. So this is going to be a permanent feature for World of Warcraft going forward. And I'm very much looking forward to it. I will say, though, personally, it's a little bit disappointing not to see the original version of Scholarments and Scarlet Monastery featured in the dungeon list. They recently came back through like secret events, and it's a massive shame to not see them featured because those are the original versions, and really the only original version we're getting in this list is Dead Mines. Of course, it's a great dungeon, but it would have been nice to see Stratholme Undead original, or Stratholme Living even, or, you know, Diamor, Zul'Farrak. I know those dungeons haven't changed a ton, but there is definitely some nuance there. That would have been nice to see again, but yeah, let me know down below, guys, what you think of Classic Timewalking. What dungeons would have you liked to have seen in the rotation, and what rewards would you like to see as well? I think the rewards are fantastic on this event. I'm definitely just going to be farming all of these out. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter at MrJMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And as mentioned, I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me streaming World of Warcraft or within 20th anniversary stuff coming up, loads of World of Warcraft going on right now, guys. So if you do want to check me out, I'm over on twitch.tv/MrGM every single day. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.